Family, this is OMFG Joe from server 379. Please do like, subscribe, and share. Turn on your notifications. Wanted to show you guys this. I made some videos about this during the seasons, but I made mistakes, and the videos were not, they didn't have any sound to them, so the mistakes were made on them. I want to show you guys a couple of things as far as furnace theories of what you can do. So obviously the first and foremost is always the corner theory. But the corner method, I'm saying theory, but corner method. But to do the corner method properly, you've got to get, and if we're right here in the corner, I'm going to take a screenshot of it. You've got to have at least, in my opinion, from back of my memory of season 2, you need at least 4 different teams all in this area, blocking this area up, okay? All of this area here needs to be filled up. And then what will happen is that they're going to end up, and it needs to be your 4 strongest. Like, you need to have an agreement with your 4 strongest teams on your server to do that. Because what's going to occur is they're going to then launch their nukes, blow your stuff up for the first one, and then this whole area here is going to get blown up. Let's back out and I'll show you guys. So you've got your stuff here. They'll drop a nuke on this one, and then it blows up a 12 by 12 square on it. And so all these bases are destroyed, and then even if you're not on if you're on Saturday, you're going to take base hits regardless. You can't have base hits on the Wednesday or Thursdays. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Thursday, but Wednesday battles, I think. On those Wednesday battles, you can't get base hit, but if you're doing that, you're going to be able to get, that's a great way to protect your stuff, but you really need enough people. Now, if you're attacking this, the best way to attack it is you have to organize. Let's delete this. What you really want to do, I froze up on my stuff. I'll keep talking while it's reloading, but you want to put your nuke far away, because it doesn't matter how far away your nuke is, it will hit at the same time. It's not like the rest of the stuff on here, but you want to put your nuke somewhere far away. You want to protect the people the person who has the nuke, because what will end up being is that nuke will become their base, and then their base will then be getting smacked over and over again. So you need to fill up their base so that they can have the nuke hit. So like if they're in that top corner, you may want to be somewhere, you want to be away from any bases is the big thing, okay? And it's really best too, and I'm going to show you guys this. Let me find it here. You want to make it very difficult. You're almost making your own little area. You need to have some random ports and everything, but you're going to make your own little area on their server where you're blocking them off. Why are these things not on here right now? I'm trying to find the, and I guess because it's not, the season's over, they're not showing, but let's just imagine there it is. That's what I'm looking for. You really want to kind of like make your base in somewhere like one of these areas up next to the mountainside here. And when you have it up next to the mountainside, then you've got same kind of situation. You want to just you want to surround. So like you've got the nuke right here, and then you want all of your bases on your team to be just surrounding that area, blocking it up from them to get it. Now you got your backside covered here. Your front side is covered by all the rest of the bases, blocking to make it where they have to come a long distance. They're going to come from way back here, hopefully, to be able to hit the nuke. The nuke doesn't take that long to go off. So if they're if your person's stronger than them, they're going to, be able to block them off anyways, but they'll run rallies. Rallies don't really work on it, honestly. You got to get way too fast on the rallies. So they're just going to hit them with their top 5 people, most likely. But that's how you make sure that you're getting that nuke hit to hit it. Now, here's the other cool thing. So this is a part 2 of what you can do if you don't have enough people on your server to be able to help protect, or if you just want to try a different method. The mountain ranges with the ice lake is a phenomenal place to put your furnace. So if you plant that furnace like right here in this area, then you surround the furnace with all of your bases, and you want to cover it up like this, and you need everybody to show up. And you're just covering each 2 by 2 inch square or whatever we are as our bases. I can't remember. and then the backside you're not as worried about. They've got to come a long distance to be able to hit, okay? So imagine that blue, which is a teammate of mine, but imagine that blue is the enemy. They got to come from way over there to hit, and if you can get them to not hit you, not be able to get their nuke to go off, you're golden there. Like, you're going to be able to really get, really set yourself up for success. You really need to make good allegiances with other alliances during the season. And then the biggest thing for season 2 is the math. You just gotta, and I can't do that full video for you guys right now, but you need to do the math on exactly how much rare soil you need to qualify for the level that you want to hit. That's the biggest thing. Based on the cities you have, the dig sites you have, all that good stuff, you got to make sure you've got that in place. Now, while I'm talking about that, I want to show you guys one more thing. I can see how, oh, please don't freeze up. There we go. I can see where those are at. That is not the best mountain range to do. A lot of times you'll have a mountain range somewhere near the edge, and if you can find that, you are in heaven. And let's see if we can find one. A mountain range towards the edge of the map. It doesn't matter what edge of the map it is per se. But any of them that are right close to the edge of the map will give you even better protection. This one's not quite as close as I was hoping, but still close enough. Well, it's close enough. This is the best. These types are the best. So even though it doesn't have the ice lake, which would be nice if it still had that, you're going to go ahead and be able to screenshot. Now you're going to be able to put it right here and then block up all this area back here, and you can easily get enough bases to block up all of this area, okay? And then all you're worried about is people coming from this side or them hitting with a nuke. And if they hit with a nuke, obviously you're going to have to cover this area, but you're still not going to be able to get them in right here. Now, one more big tip for Season 2, you got to get your team to understand that tasks like running your zombie siege and all of that stuff, which is fun in off seasons, is not important if you want to be successful during the season. That is the biggest mistake that's made, is people trying to focus on versus, or people trying to focus on the zombie siege or on Marshall and worrying way too much about that, when you should be focused in on protecting your furnace. Now, obviously, if you got you're just picked by a team you can't beat, well, then on that week, then you don't worry about it quite as much, right? And maybe and I would even venture to say, and I'm just going to put this out here, I ran this theory by, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on it myself, and I think, the rest of us were just not 100% sure, but there's a time to punt, altogether too, and just give it up at times. So if you've got somebody that you just know is a monster that you can't beat, and there's just a 0% chance or a less than 1% chance of winning, it's better to punt that Wednesday battle and save all your troops for the Saturday battle so that you can guarantee yourself winning it. It also, unless you're one of the top 5 teams competing for that overall number 1, and those top 3 spots, which are the best, sometimes it's better in the middle of the season and sometimes even in the beginning of the season to lose. Obviously, if you can win them all, that's the best. Don't get me wrong. But when you lose matters too. So losing early is better than losing late. Losing in the middle is still better than losing late, because what you can have happen is you got to calculate and look at, and I can't show you guys this right now because I'm not in that season, but you got to look at the points the other teams have around you, and you got to look at it and see, okay, out of the 10 teams on the other side versus the 10 teams on this side, how likely am I to my team to get targeted by this by the current alliance? How likely is that for them to win by the big ones? How likely is it for us to lose if that is to happen? And if we do go ahead and even maybe make an allegiance with one of those big ones and say, hey, look, we're just giving up. We're not even going to make you guys fight hard on this one. Y'all won't lose any troops. We're just going to let you guys have it. They're likely to not pick you the next time. And the better thing is, though, is you're going to fall down to that next rung where it should be easier. And then you can get yourself a couple of wins. And then at the end, you want to go all out, right? It's almost best. I watched it play out. Many teams that were in the second grouping of 10 ended up in the top 10 of the grouping, which is top 20 potentially overall. It's not guaranteed top 20 overall because the factions could be way out of proportion. But the fact, you know, if you could have a very lucky, you almost want to be in that second tier. If you're not the top 5 teams overall, or maybe top 10 teams overall, not in your faction, overall in the whole battles, towards the end of the season, you're better off being in your faction. You're better off dropping into that 11-12 spot, so that you've got a very easy path. You can beat somebody much easier and have a very easy path to going ahead and getting up higher. The other thing is the people that are in your faction with you, the other alliances, you've got to really do a great job as president of the servers, as the leaders of alliances, of helping people understand big, huge mistakes that were made in our faction. Help them understand that it's almost always better to fight alone. Okay, there are times when it's worth fighting together, but fighting together is also a massive mistake. People got to be willing to take it on the chin sometimes. You really want to just negotiate that and say, hey, look, let's just call ABC Alliance is like a 15 million power alliance, and nobody wants to face them, right? You say, look, we're going to take ABC Alliance this time. So and then you guys hook us up and y'all take them next time. Don't join me against XYZ Alliance because I can beat them easily. But if you join XYZ Alliance, join my battle against XYZ Alliance, they're going to invite ABC and we're going to both lose. Or even if we win, it's the winnings are split in half. It makes no sense. It's way better to fight alone 99 times out of 100. That's the big mistake that was made. And during season 3, if we have factions again, that's one thing I'll be negotiating for a lot and pushing for, is you got to make those, you got to get with all those ones that could be in your grouping and say, look, you guys got to punt it this time for us. We're going to punt it for you next time, vice versa. Joining in together screws everything up. I can't tell you how many teams that I talked to in our factions that ended up dropping on that final ranking because of ending up being, a mistake being made at some point during the last few weeks and last few battles. Hope this was helpful today. You guys have a good one. Thank you so much.